What's going down, man? It's your boy, Donnie Houston. I just want to introduce this Mr. 32 tribute mini documentary. As you guys know, I've been working on a documentary for a couple years now, and it's still in the works, you know what I'm saying? But the Mr. 32, the tribute mini documentary, this is something that I put together. This was for the family originally, played this at one of the Mr. 32 Proclamation Day celebrations. And I say that to say this Sunday, July 27th, we doing it big for Mr. 32 for his Proclamation Day. Shout out to Yandy for putting all this together. Shout out to Dre, all the Track House fam. Shout out to my family, you know what I'm saying? But this Sunday, July 27th, meet us if you got them slabs and you want to ride out, man. 4:30, we pulling up. Stop the Violence Peace Ride. 4:30 at McGregor Park. We're going to ride from McGregor Park to 5410 Alameda to Exotic Pop. And that's why all the festivities going to kick off right there at Exotic Pop after the Peace Ride. It's going to be a lot of people in the building. H-Town will be in the building. I'll be in the building. So pull up, man. Like I said, Peace Ride starts at 4:30 at McGregor Park, or you can meet us straight at Exotic Pop, 5410 Alameda. That's this Sunday, July 27th. And we're doing it big for the governor, man. Rest in peace to the governor. Christopher Berrier, Mr. 32, my cousin. You know what I'm saying? One of the dopest rappers to ever pick up the microphone, man. You know what I'm saying? One of the most influential rappers to ever pick up the microphone, man. So rest in peace. This is the Mr. 32 tribute mini documentary. The full documentary is still on the way, man. But this mini documentary, it was so dope. I had to put it out. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to share this with y'all until we get the full documentary out to y'all, which is still in the works, man. Like I said, I appreciate everybody who's involved with this project. Rest in peace to Mr. 32. This is the Mr. 32 tribute mini documentary. Full documentary on the way, man. Holla at y'all.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
It's the 3 to the 2. Yeah. Buddha babies and Buddha babies all around sitting back.
I mean, at the time, man, 3-2 arguably, you know, was probably one of the top 5 MCs rapping.
He was a good lyricist, man. And I mean, that's just that era of hip hop we came up in. He was a good storyteller. He was a good lyricist. He was really a multifaceted artist. You know, and he adapted to the times, you know. So whatever was in style, he was good at it.
He was funny, sometimes serious, and loyal. What else? What can I say? He was my big brother.
Sometimes moody and sometimes soft heart. He had really soft heart.
Mr. 3-2 is one of my oldest friends. Mr. 3-2 is Chris Berrier.
Man, first when I meet Chris, man, he just was a character, dog. Like just kind of funny. Just, you know what I'm saying, was smooth with it. He had the high flat top. He remind you a kid, you know what I'm saying? He had that hip hop look too. Like no matter, like if you just would see him, you know, he looked like he rap or something, you know what I'm saying?
3 was a dude that was ready to go on whatever you wanted to do, whenever you wanted to do that shit. No matter if he was sleep deprivated, you know, 3 was one of them like, oh, what it is? All right, let's go. That was 3.
Mr. 3-2 is the G.O.V., Mr. No Fingerprints. When I met Chris, his personality was that of a chubby little kid with curly hair, man. You know, all the little girls thought Chris was cute, and he did too, you know. Man, Chris, he was a good dude, man.
Always making little noise. I say, boy, be quiet. You ain't saying nothing. Mama, I'm singing. I'm rapping. I say, stop all of that, because your daddy say you're not doing that now. You gonna be a football player. He didn't want to be a football player, but he played football.
our 7th grade year, he was the right guard on the football team. We all played football together. Chris Barrier, Chris West, Clint Navy, whole lot of them, man. Alan Aldridge, and a few more people that we played football with in junior high school, man. And we had a coach named Coach Clark. And Coach Clark was always mad at everything. And I wish Chris was here to tell that story, because we'd be cracking up laughing at Coach Clark, man. You better hold that ball. You're holding it like a loaf of bread. Somebody's gonna knock you on your butt. He was always pissed, man. Always, man.
I remember him playing the tuba in middle school. He played football in middle school. He didn't play football in high school.
We rode to school together. Like I had a car, so I would drive and pick him up on the way to school, and he would come to almost all the parties I DJ'd. Like I recently was listening to tapes of the parties I did that I would record, and he's on the mic talking crazy to people at the parties, calling people out. It's hilarious, but I had forgotten that, you know. I have pictures of him from the parties, but you know, hearing the tapes is something different. So we met, you know, through hip hop, and then just kind of became friends in addition to doing music together. So that's pretty much just how we met at school.
It was like, you know, everything was a hobby for us back then, you know what I mean? But when we got to Troy, at shortstop, it like got serious real quick. And like he was besides Scarface, him and Def Jam Blaster was the focal point of shortstop. It was like the pecking order was shortstop, Private Identity, which was 3-2 and Def Jam Blaster, and then my group A&M, which is me and G, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, from now we kind of like everybody, you know how it is, you got 30, 40 dudes in the studio. You know, Troy had everybody, so like out of everybody, me and 3 clicked. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't in the same group, but it was just like, he from Mo City. I went to like Brentwood Baptist Church, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of bonded because we had good background, you know, like his mother and his father and my mother, you know, was good people, you know what I mean? My mama got us out of 3rd Ward. 3 people never had him in the gutter, you know what I mean? So we was just trying to go to the ghetto and be part of the ghetto kids, you know what I mean? Like, so that was what we had in common. Chris was with a group, I think his name was Kendrick or Kedrick. Can't remember his name precisely, but Chris was in that group. And when I went with Beto, Chris came with me with Beto. And then when I went with shortstop, Chris came with me to shortstop. And then when I went to Rap-A-Lot, Chris came shortly thereafter with the Convict.
Well, I remember him getting serious with rapping when I was a freshman in high school. So I was in class of 9-5. So he started getting serious when I was in high school. He ended up telling my parents he wasn't doing the school thing no more. He had met a group and they was finna produce some music. And he was forever in the garage, like, what you think this sound like? What, you like this? Or how this sound? And I'm like, it sound all right.
I'm Big Mike, I'm Lord 3-2, and we the Convict.
Yeah, so I've been wrecking my brain, man, for the last couple of days, trying to figure out exactly when and where I would have met 3-2. And I can't for the life of me remember where I would have met him. Trying to think if it would have been in the studio, but we were primarily recording with Bernie and Shatora in Missouri City. I don't think that would have been where. I must have met him in King's Flea Market. But I do remember that from the day I met him, like we were pretty much like every day I was going to 3-2 house picking him up.
So the thing with 3-2, now that's going back to high school, there was a group of guys that he would hang around with. You know, other just homeboys and stuff that if he wasn't hanging out with me, he was hanging out with these other guys.
This was back at the McAdale crib, and I can say, because he actually brought Bun B to the house one time. And we at the McAdale crib, 3-2 come through there, He got Bun B with him. I might have had somebody else with him. And this is right before he went to LA to go holler at Dre, Snoop now. Right before he did that, and around the house at Macadale crib, we had this thing where we just used to be ranking on niggas, talking about niggas, you know what I'm saying? These nuts and all that shit, and he was always the big baby and top fly and all that, you know what I'm saying? He'll get to talking like that, and then we start hearing that style pop up in Cali a little bit, you know what I'm saying? From, not saying that's where it comes from, like Snoop, as far as his style, you know what I'm saying, his delivery. I seen some of Chris and Snoop just from me knowing, I don't know Snoop, but I know Chris, and I know his style, you know what I'm saying, and what he brings to the table. So and then he went down there, and you know, we were hearing things that we were doing musically. We were like, well, damn, you know, things kind of transpired, but hey, that's the music game. If, you know, somebody get a hold of something and they get it out there first, then they might get ownership of it.
So they did the Convicts, they called for 3 and Big Mike to go to California. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they ended up in Cali, but this whole time through Cali, we stayed in contact. You know what I mean? Like, so, like when, we stayed in contact the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So these early Snoop Dogs and Warren G and, you know, of course we knew who Dr. Dre was, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people were staying on 3 couch out there in LA, because Lil James sent them out there. They was the stars. It wasn't no Snoop right then and there. Snoop got his whole everything from this nigga. I used to be on the phone with him. Wasn't no FaceTime back then. I'd be on the phone, man, this my boy Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? This my boy Warren G. This my boy such and such. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm remembering them names because we staying in contact. You know, my best friend out there in Cali, I'm like, man, he doing his thing.
I mean, at the time, man, 3-2 arguably, you know, was probably one of the top 5 MCs rapping in the world at that time. I mean, you reach out to Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg will tell you that 3-2 was very influential in helping him craft his style. They were in the building for the Chronic. A lot of people don't really know about that. Him and Big Mike were around for the Chronic, and so when you hear Snoop Dogg say Big Baby, that comes directly from having 3-2 in the room and in that team, you know, in that building. You know, not just for like a feature, but like they were actually, there were talks about having the Convicts actually join Death Row at the time. But that didn't actually go through either. But I say all of that, man, wherever he was, or you know, whoever he was around, he impacted those people. You know, if there was music being made in a room, he impacted the musicians, even when he wasn't on the records. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I could definitely say, man, I'm proud to have been a Big Baby. I'm proud to have been an MC at the time of 3-2, to see him not just sit down and write and craft and raise rhymes, but even, you know, formulate songs off the top of his head. And I don't think he ever really got the proper respect or regard that he should have gotten in his time, as most of us don't from down here. They celebrate us here, but not really everywhere. But if nobody else is saying it, I'll say it. 3-2, Chris Berrier is literally probably one of the top 3 best rappers to ever pick up a microphone from the city of Houston. He didn't never personally talk to me about it, but other people that was there, like Daz. Daz told me what it was like, because, you know, I did a whole album with Daz. And when we was doing that album, you know, 3 was around. And I'm listening to them niggas talk. And then I'm listening how he was like, yeah, man, a whole lot of my lingo, a whole lot of my pizzazz, a whole lot of my style. You can hear that shit on Doggy Style. And I was like, you don't say. And then you'll listen. And then, you know, of course, him and Mike D will be talking about it. And when him and Mike D be talking about it, I asked a nigga one time, I'm like, man, you think that's your shit? And that nigga was like, think. Nigga, listen to it, nigga.
Well, you just gotta be real. Don't be fraud, and don't be letting all these rappers hear your stuff.
Just let somebody hear your stuff who you know they think real, gonna get with you, because there's a whole bunch of people out there stealing.
All right, thanks. Y'all have a safe trip back to Houston, man.
He was a good person. He would probably give him his shirt on his back to you because, you know, he was like would always try to help people to get their music out. And I really think, you know, he helped everybody to get their music and look like his music. The ones he did look like to me didn't account for nothing till he was gone. And now they want to recognize that, you know, 3-2 made all this music and, you know, he never got it off the ground, and he always tried to. He tried everything.
I want him to just be remembered like his talent, and give him credit for his talent. Do credit when credit is due. You know, if he helped you out, let people know. Let people know. Because not a lot of people do that. You know, just keep it real.
3-2, Chris Berrier is literally probably one of the top 3 best rappers to ever pick up a microphone from the city of Houston. And he repped this city to the fullest. He was a good friend, he was a good brother, he's an amazing artist, and he is well loved and dearly missed. And man, that dude was silly. Like, that's why I miss about 3 and Chad. Those were silly dudes, man. You could just sit in the room with them 2 niggas, man. They were just jokes and jokes, crack jokes on each other, man. Just great energy.
He needs to be remembered, first of all, as they say Snoop Dogg is the most popular rapper in the world. He needs to be right there with him. That's how he should be remembered. As the nigga that influenced the most popular rapper in the world. That's how he needs to be remembered.
He gonna come in the door and you know, and be Mr. 3-2 and do his thing and you know, and it's always gonna be about music and flavor, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he had. That man had flavor. You know, he had shit, what they call swag and all that shit. He been had that, and yeah. And 3-2, man, they've rubbed off on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? His lingo, you know what I'm saying, in H-Town, like I still hear it in people.
And I think his legacy, you know, he's just one of the early guys that put Mo City on the map. You know, there was just a lot of talent out there, and he rose to the top of it, you know, him and Face.
I want Chris to be remembered how we remember him today. You know, free-spirited, funny as hell, and he didn't love these hoes. I don't love these hoes. Little fool. Little fool.
Mr. 3-2 has to be and should be remembered as the total package. Because aside from being, you know, a comedian and just a people person, when it comes to the talent, I can say for a fact, like, it's not a lot of people that I'm gonna listen to. But even the way he rapped was so melodic, you know what I'm saying? And then he could do his own hook, whether he was holding a melody, and you know, a lot of that shit, you don't even know that's him. So I would say, man, professionally, 3-2 should be remembered as the total package. And I say personally, 3-2 gonna be remembered as my nigga. Like that's what my phrase come from in there, like swim well without the chin hair. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some Mr. 3-2 shit. You feel me? And like, yeah, that's all I can say, man. You know, that was my nigga. That's still my nigga.
It's boss man with dollar signs. Yeah, I spit on my mind. Don't rewind. Bring it back twice. Drink on ice and it's no Bud Lights. It's Mr. Put some up in your sister. R.I.P. Robert Earl. He don't die with me. And I got that girl coming in, coming off. Yeah, you know what's big boss, bro. In the roast on the dice. Yeah, mine's so precise. My life, it go down. Big boss man, he's on every side of town. I feel like going on. I feel like.
Is she baking for the party? I don't know. Tell her to make some pies.
Donnie Houston.